2vs. And let's see why that's true real quick. All right, the easiest way to do these is just highlighting the angle, or in your mind highlighting the angle. So if I'm going to highlight angle WR, I mean not WR, angle 13, that would be this one. If I highlighted 11 plus 10, that would be here. We're going to note what I created is only these two parallel lines, and this being the transversal. So what tells me that if this equals this, this is parallel? Or what kind of angles are those two things? Amber? Corresponding angles. So if I asked why, you'd say corresponding angles. I didn't ask that, so we're just going to say WR is parallel to VS. All right, our second one says angle 6 plus angle 7 equals 180. Since it equals 180, it's supplementary. The only one that says they're supplementary is same side interior. So I'm already thinking, hey, maybe it's same side interior. Let's highlight those angles and see if that's true. Angle 6 is here. Angle 7 is right, let's pick a different color real quick, is right here. So same side interior. It must be this line is congruent to this line. You could have picked out any letter here. You could have said VT, WV, WT. You could have said TV, TW. Doesn't matter as long as you pick two of those letters. I usually pick the first one that they have in the last one, so I called that one WT. Is parallel to our S, but you could have had, why is that not writing? You could have had SR as well. Questions on those? Yes?
So you could do like VT and RS, but like it's easier because it's like WT is just the fuller line.
I usually pick the first point and the last point. It's just what I do every single time, so I have a kind of standard way to do it. But if you're like, I always take TV, I'm okay. That's right. There's no difference between WT, and it's just your personal preference on how you pick the points. All right? And maybe you pick something different every time to tell yourself that they're all the same. All right? All right. Questions from the homework? Grace.
I had a question on number 18.
18.
I was a little confused about it.
All right, 18 says the length of the sides of the triangle are 3t, 5t minus 12, and t plus 20. It says find a value of t that makes the triangle isosceles. Remember, to be isosceles, two of the sides need to be congruent. Just two of them. Three of them can be and it's still isosceles, but at least two of them have to be. So if they ever ask to make something isosceles, all we need to do is just take two sides and set them equal to each other. So I'll just randomly pick 3t equals 5t minus 12, and I'm just going to solve for the t value that makes this statement true. So I subtract 3t from both sides, I'd add 12. So we'd have 12 equals 2t. So t equaling 6 would make this isosceles because these two sides would be equal to each other. Yes?
I set 3t equal to t plus 20 and got 10. Would that be right? Okay.
We're good. We're good.
Values?
You just have to pick two sides, set them equal to each other, find that t value, and it's automatically going to make it isosceles. Yes?
Don't all the angles have to like add up to 180 though, so that it wouldn't work if you like put the 6 in for everything?
Well,
wait,
the angles do, but did we talk about the angles at all?
No, we didn't.
No, we're talking about sides.
Man, I did way too much work then.
All right, that's all it's asking. All it's asking is, can you find a value that makes isosceles? I picked 3t equals this one. Amber picked 3t equaling t plus 20. That t still works. You could have picked 5t minus 12 equals t plus 20, and whatever that t value is, that triangle will be isosceles. All right, the next thing is, does any value of t make the triangle equilateral? Well, the only value that makes these two sides equal is 6. So the only way this would be an equilateral triangle is if I plug this 6 into the last term and made them all equal. All right? So if I plug 6 in for that last t plus 20, so I already know these two things are equal, right? If I plug t in here, I get 18, and here I'm going to get 18 as well. So if t plus 20 equals 18, so getting to today's lesson, I'm just going to do like one of each, and then I'm going to let you work either individually or with someone or in groups. All right, it says complete each statement with the word always, sometimes, or
Davion
never.
Turner, please report to the office. Davion Turner.
We'll go to the office. If a triangle is isosceles, then it is something equilateral. So if a triangle is isosceles, can it be equilateral? Can it be equilateral? All right, so it can be. Does it have to be equilateral? No, it does not have to be. So for this one, we're just going to put sometimes. Sometimes it is. So this one's going to be sometimes. And maybe an example might be, you know, if this was 6, 6, and 3. Or you could have, you know, 6, 6, 6. Both of those are isosceles. One is equilateral, one is not. So that's all you're doing on these. You're seeing if it's never going to happen, if it's always going to be true, or if it's sometimes going to be true. All right, and then you'll be responsible for the rest. All right, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are basically the same type things. It was just like the question that Sabrina had on that one problem. So number 5 says, the measure of one angle of a triangle is 15 more than the measure of the smallest angle of the triangle. The measure of the third angle is 3 times the measure of the smallest angle. All right, so we just need to put down some information. So we need a smallest angle. Our smallest angle let's go ahead and call it S. Our smallest angle is S. That's our smallest angle. All right, let's just have let's have our second angle, and we'll just start off here. So the measure of one angle of a triangle is 15 more than the measure of the smallest angle. So my second measure is going to be the same size as my smallest, plus 15. So 15 plus S. Now let's do our third angle. The third angle is 3 times the measure of the smallest angle, so that's going to be 3S. All right, 3 angles of a triangle. What do they have to add to when I add them all together? Lydia? 180. So all we're going to do is we're just going to say, you know, the smallest angle plus the second angle plus the third angle equals 180. In other words, S plus 15 plus S plus 3S has to equal 180. That's angle plus angle plus angle has to equal 180. Then it's just simplifying. All right, we have 3S, 4S, 5S is on one side. That's going to equal, I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 15 from both sides. So we have 165. And then we're just going to have S is going to equal 33 degrees. So that means my smallest angle equals 33 degrees. So S is just going to equal 33 degrees. S plus 15. Well, that's going to be 48 degrees. And finally, 3 times S is going to be 90. How do I know if I did it correct? I thought I saw Robin just shrug his shoulders. Amber.
You can add them all up
do they? So we're pretty confident we did everything right. It's really hard to make a mistake in here and them still add up to 180 degrees. I mean, it's pretty good on you that you made that one mistake that would actually let it be true, even though you made a mistake down here. All right, so as soon as you know it adds up to 180, you know you did everything right. If it doesn't, and you got time, go back and try it again. Make sure that these match up with what's saying up here. All right, now the next three are basically the same problems. All right, so I just work out one, you do the rest. Let's see if there's any more that we have to do together. Yeah.
I have a question, like, for when you have, like, an angle, like an exterior angle, and then like I don't know.
The remote interior angles?
Like that, yeah, but like the exterior angle and then the angle right next to it that's actually inside the triangle, does that always equal 180?
Yep. Yep. And that's the whole theory between why it adds up to the other two. Okay? So yes. Anytime it's a straight line, it automatically equals 180. All right. You guys are going to be in charge of doing this. We'll work through it. And in fact, this is going to be a homework question as well. So if you don't get through it, it'll be okay. We'll go through this one together. But I want you to try it and do number 10. These are just identify the type of triangles, i.e. acute, scalene triangle. Pick the one that's the best of the options. So look at number 16. You could say it's isosceles, but what would be a better answer? Equilateral. So number 16 would be equilateral. Remember, scalene, none of the sides are equal. Isosceles, 2 of them are equal. Equilateral, all 3 of them are equal. Then we're just going to find the measure of the indicated angles. So we're going to see how far we can get. I'm going to post these answers online today. In fact, I think my new goal is I'm going to be able to post the answer key to the homeworks a lot easier. Do the word problems, so you don't have to check the book answers. I'll just have them filled in that. I can put notes to you. It won't happen every time, but sometimes just check the blank lesson. Maybe I'll attach it along with it. I'll say blank lesson and filled in answer key kind of thing. But here's what I got for these 4 problems. I got 33, 48, 99. Well, we did that one together. This one I got 28, 84, and 68. Number 7, I got 30, 60, 90. And for number 8, I got 38, 66, 76. Does anyone have a specific question? Once again, I'm going to post all these answers online along with this, so if you don't have time to copy that all down or check your answers. All right, so once again, if you don't get this all copied down, your goal is not just to copy this feverishly down. It is to try these, all right? It becomes your homework. Whatever we didn't get done becomes our homework. I'll check to make sure everything's filled out tomorrow. All right. Because I did want to talk about these really quick, because I did put one as your homework. And we'll just very quickly talk about how I solved these, because sometimes these can be difficult. So I started by looking at the parallel lines. All right, I started with this 85. And I said, since these 2 lines are parallel, this 85 and this angle here are same side interior, which means they add up to 180 degrees. So I just did 180 degrees minus 85 to get me 95. Then I said from here to here equals 180 degrees. So I did 180 minus 30 minus 95, which got me this being 55. And since this is 55 and 90, this must be 35 because it's a triangle. A triangle must equal 180 degrees. The final step I did, I noticed that this was parallel to this. And this was 90 degrees. Well, if one angle is 90 degrees on one, the top one also must be 90 degrees. There's a theorem that says that, and it's also just same side interior up to 180. So since this angle is 90 degrees, it's just 90 minus 35 gets me 55. And that gets me my last thing, because it would just be same side interior, so these two angles must add up to 180. Alright, and that is in your homework as well. This one, you just have to base it on these triangles. Alright, you have to form your triangles and make sure everything adds up to 180 degrees. But you should come up with 36 and 32. If you didn't get that, check it tonight. Make sure you can get that. Remember, what you don't have done becomes homework. Alright, take a look at all of mine. I have right isosceles because there's a right angle and two sides are the same. I have obtuse scaling. Obviously this is an obtuse angle. All my sides are different sizes. Right because there's a right angle. Scaling because all three of these are different sizes. Obtuse isosceles, obtuse angle. I have two sides that are same because this is B and B. Equiangular, equilateral. Right scaling, right isosceles, acute, there's a C there. Scaling and obtuse scaling.
Wait, we don't have 18 through 20.
Oh, that's okay. I think I cut some off.
What is it? Angular, equilateral.
Just equiangular, equilateral.
Can you do just equilateral?
Yeah.
Or
If you just did equilateral, I'd been okay with that.
just equiangular is kind of like saying all sides are equal.
All angles are congruent. Yeah. Yeah, Sabrina.
I was wondering why number 15 was scaling because I thought that the
Number 15 is isosceles.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Robin?
For 16, can we put
I'll be-
acute equal?
Yes, I guess. Just put equilateral
Okay.
and don't make that one. Yeah.
I'm most confused about 13 and 15 with like obtuse because I was thinking of like how the sides, like the angle on the side is not. Or do you just think?
If you have one obtuse angle, it's an obtuse triangle.
Okay,
If you have one right triangle, it is a right triangle. It's impossible to have more than one obtuse.
got it.
So it has to be one. Sabrina.
I realized I was asking about number 13 because I thought that the angles kind of looked the same. Like on the side, they kind of looked like they were the same.
Is there an obtuse angle in it?
Oh yeah, I knew about the like obtuse, but
So it automatically makes it obtuse.
as in the scaling part, because
The scaling part has to do with A, B, C. That means there's three different lengths here.
but I thought like that those two angles.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. Scaling only has to do with sizes of our sides. Scaling says all three of these must be a different size and all three of these are a different size. Obtuse just says if one of my angles is obtuse, it's an obtuse triangle. If one of our triangles is right, it's a right triangle. It doesn't matter if these look like the same angles. If I have one obtuse, it automatically makes it obtuse. Then I look at the sides. If all sides are different, it is scaling. All right, we completely ran out of time here. That's okay. So these are all the values I've got. For these. Yeah.
Wait, how do you determine whether it's obtuse scaling or acute scaling? Look at number 13.
How do I determine if it's obtuse? If it has one obtuse angle.
Like, is it the exterior angle that has
It is, see this angle here? It's obtuse, so it's an obtuse triangle. We just gotta look for an obtuse triangle and it becomes obtuse. We look for a right and it becomes a right. If there is no obtuse angle like here, what would be better? This one has no right angle and none of them are obtuse, so it's gonna be acute. If we had that example, we don't. Okay, we're just locating one obtuse. Alright.
I get it.
Alright, here are all the other ones. Double check it and then you are free to go and have a good day. If you don't have something correct, that becomes your homework. Yeah, Ashley. Did you have a question? You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. If you have one wrong, just change it and then ask questions on it tomorrow if you can't figure it out. Once again, this will all be posted online.